Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Martin. I'm also known as a drum and bass producer under two different names, Tunnel Vision and Modest Intentions. I'm doing music full-time as a coach and an active releasing producer, and in this video I want to do my best to help you turn your dream of becoming a full-time musician come true. Today I'll talk to those of you who are still learning and are itching to release your music out someday soon. I've been doing this for over 20 years, so I've seen a lot of things. Let's start with a no-brainer. For most of us, making music, getting your song signed to a label and out there for the world to hear is like reaching the top of a musical Mount Everest. But here's the kicker. In today's digital age, anyone with a Wi-Fi and a dream can start a label. Unfortunately, that means that the industry is crawling with more scammers than a bad dating app. Now let's dive into top 5 signs that you're getting signed by a bad label. Are you ready? Let's go. Sign number 1. They scam you for 50% of the profit, but offer no platform. Imagine this. You're super excited because a label showed interest in your track. Then you find out they have fewer followers than your grandma's knitting block. They don't have a legit platform, no audience, and probably just one guy named Dave working from his mom's basement. Oh, and the album covers and all that stuff, probably AI generated anyway, right? Thanks to distribution companies, they just click upload and call it a day. So essentially they're pocketing 50% of your hard-earned money for doing nothing. Sign number 2. The label owner or the partners of the label are not active artists or DJs. Now combine this with point 1 and you basically have some random dude in his pajamas who thinks GarageBand is a garage sale. They have zero industry experience, no track record, and couldn't tell a beat from a beep. Trusting them with your music career is like letting a toddler fly a plane. That is disastrous. Point number 3. They only start talking to you once you start asking questions. Classic scam move. If you don't ask, they won't tell. Start asking questions like, what percentage do you share with me and your distribution? Or can you show me the platform you use to promote the tracks? And watch them squirm. They might offer mastering services for a fee, claiming it's to improve your track, but really, it's just another way of draining your wallet. They'll slap a hefty bill on you for mastering services, and suddenly you're the proud owner of your very own debt. A good label should have a clear promo plan, timeline, and visible online presence, a YouTube channel, Spotify playlists, a list of DJs, a proper release plan. You get the idea, but on top of that, they also have to give you the exact information of all the fees that come into signing music with them. If there are any, there shouldn't be, but you know. Sign number 4. They push you for a contract after 1 or 2 releases. Here's a scenario. You release a couple of tracks and suddenly the label is acting like your BFF. They're showering you with praise, responding to your messages at lightning speed, and then BAM! They hit you with a contract. Buried in the fine print are vague promises like, we'll invite you to international gigs when possible. Sounds amazing, right? Except it doesn't. Guess how many artists actually get those gigs? Well, from my experience, not that many. And also the ones that do get it, they are kind of big anyways, you know, they could just pitch themselves out there and probably get a spot. If they start talking contracts, demand specifics, ask for guaranteed events like 4 gigs a year in Europe. Is that something you can provide? Make sure it's worth your while. Remember, labels take around half your revenue. They are your partners. You shouldn't treat them like gods. They make money off every single guy like you. There's like 50 maybe, you know? Sign number 5. They don't invest in your growth and marketing. Finally, if a label is not putting any effort into growing your brand or marketing your music, run. A good label invests in your success. They'll help with promo videos, social media strategies, and getting your music featured in playlists. If all they do is take your tracks and dump them online without any support, they're not worth your time. Obviously, once you start learning about all this crazy world of music business, it's a rabbit hole, but at least some of the things I told you should steer you away from giving your music to someone with no return. As for me, I'm planning to launch a label myself in the nearest future. I've prepared a platform to make sure that at least some of the releases get heard. Here's what I've done to ensure that when we finally launch, our artists get a fair amount of exposure. Step number 1. I've grown 2 YouTube channels with over 4,000 subscribers, all of whom are directly related to music production of my genre of choice. Step number 2. I've had a few test labels before, so I know what I'm getting into. Step number 3. I'm an active releasing artist with a profile larger than my label, So by releasing my own music on my label, some of my followers might take a closer look at this label and go through the catalog and discover some new artists. Step number 4. I have a clear plan, such as YouTube promos, live streams, sending my music to DJs and artists that I know around the world, and collecting reviews, sending music to a catalog of YouTube channels, Spotify playlists, and so on. Step number 5. Providing honest and direct management to my artists free of charge. If a guy comes to your label and wants to sign a song, let's try to get him signed to a bigger label first. This sounds like a counterintuitive thing to do, but it's actually really good. First of all, you're establishing a good relationship. Now you are a manager of this artist free of charge. Sounds awesome. I believe in honesty and respect. Everybody should try to help each other and build each other's profile up. Then you establish a really awesome crew that can work together on something big in the future. One day you might get signed with a major label and then come back to thank me, maybe even give me one of your tracks to release on my label. That will grow the profile of my label tremendously. And if you choose not to do so, at least you're one more artist that I can pitch my releases to. And the last thing, my label is also a music school, so if your demo isn't good enough, for as little as 15 euros per hour, I can teach you how to produce like a pro and start releasing your music with us or any other label. For more information, visit my Discord. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep making music and stay away from the scammers. See you in the next video.